have a flow splitter that has a port coming out to the left and out to the right. It divides the two flow streams up so we can collect separate flow rates. It sits on here like this and presses on. Then you put the nut on. And now what it's going to do is it's going to let us divide the flows to separate flows. Paul, can you come over here? We go to the menu window. That's the setup. Push 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gets you to the setup window. The calibration window is behind the setup window. Okay, it's got the test button on it. So it's set for a 30-second test. So it'll be half the flow rate on part A and half the flow rate on part B. We do that so we don't have to waste so much product. But we always do a burp shot first. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cup under here, and we weighed our cups, and I'm going to do a burp shot. Let me weigh the cups real quick. We weighed our cups, so now we're going to do a burp shot. Can you push the burp shot? Okay. Now we're going to get fresh product in there, fresh warm product. You can see the product coming out both sides. You push that test button again, and it'll turn it off. And now we're going to collect sample from each side. Let's see, let me get this straightened up. Okay, Paul, go ahead. Let's get us a test shot. We're going to do a 30-second sample check. And the product is set up so that we can get product out of each side.
Kelly, you'll go on line 1. Kelly, line 1.
It'll automatically time out through the total 30 seconds, and when it does, it'll automatically turn off. That way we can make sure that we got test samples. There again, keep in mind, this is 30 seconds, so it's going to be half the flow rate. Of course, we weigh the product, and we subtract out the cup weight. This is 1.5. Come out to be 6.2, which is 49.1. This comes out to be 102. Okay. I've weighed my cup. Then we come to the touch screen. And I push calibrate. And I should, on resin, I should have gotten 200, and on that curing agent, I should have gotten 50. What I actually got was 200.9, and what I actually got was 49. So that's close enough. But if they were off, say they were off by, say it was 210, I would push that, I push in the 210, and I would enter that, which I'm not going to do it. And if say this was 45, I'd push in the 45 and enter that. Then you push set. And it asks you okay, and then you say okay, and it says you to accept that. I'm not going to do that because we've already calibrated the machine. But that's how you test and calibrate the machine. At this point of the game, the machine is ready to run. So we went through calibration and testing. There is one thing I'd like to bring to note. When you get these mixers, you really should cut the tip off with these things to keep them loose. This is for different kinds of size hoses, but you need the largest hole you can on the static mixer. Okay, so now that we were doing that, I'm actually going to put the mixer back on, and I'm going to show you how to dispense into the mold. You put it on. What I've done is I've made up like a sample mold. It has a weak hole, a very, very small hole in the end. And what this is going to simulate what you're trying to do with your mold. So we're going to pressurize the mold, and as the product weeps out, you'll see it start pumping. It'll go back into recirculation until it starts weeping down. When the pressure weeps down, then it'll start shooting the shot again. So we're going to simulate that with this. This will be what you guys are really trying to do. And when we get through with this, I'll show you how that's set up in the window, and it'll explain more how this. You can change these pressures to anything you want to. Okay, Paul, if you want to shoot it. Let's see where the hole is. The hole's right there. Paul's going to put it in the. Yes, he's going to shoot the hole, shoot the shot, and when it sees 50 psi, it'll shut itself down. It'll go back into recirculation, and as the pressure relieves itself, it'll come out of recirculation back into to keep the pressure on the system. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, we'll just let it do that. Just let it go on the cardboard below it. Paul, is it saying the 50 psi?
It's got to be that high.
Yes, it's holding the end of the feet. Okay, here it went. It's all the 50 psi. Now I'll do it again.
Okay, no pressure on the curing.
Okay, stop it. Stop everything. Okay, what I'm going to do, we've simulated your mold here. We've made a piece of pipe with a small weep hole on it, and when it fills up, it's going to see 50 psi. As soon as it sees 50 psi, it's going to go back into recirculation. As soon as that pressure drops back down to 40 psi, it's going to fire again to come back up to 50 psi. We're going to let it weep down again and come down to 40, and you're going to see that repeated. And I'll show you that. So we're gonna shoot it for you and let you see how this works. There again, this is to simulate a mold. It's just a cavity with a weep hole in it. Okay, go ahead, Paul. Let's shoot it. That's your 50 psi. That's your 40 psi. It started shooting here. It's shooting it back and forth. It's maintaining the 50 psi. There you go, 50, 40. Here we go. All right. I'll clog it up. Okay, that's it, Paul.
It's kind of what I expected.
Yeah, I know, because it's got a high